we have got to get off this effing 3-week cycle thing. It is ruining so much. I was like, I don't know what happened to WWE writers, but man, during the Bloodline timeline, they were writing freaking War and Peace. And now they're like doing comic strips.
In a world where two retired vets decided their phone conversations about WWE and storylines would make a good podcast, only one podcast dares to predict the future, where every move, every feud, every moment is overanalyzed. Grab your number 2 pencils. Get ready to step into the squared circle. This is your front row seat to the storylines as you wish they were written. Welcome to the If We Had the Pencil podcast. Here are your hosts, Sean Green and Matt Jackson.
Even the timer is slow. Welcome to the
We are live, bro.
Welcome to the If We Had the Pencil podcast. I am your host, Sean Green, on Hotel Internet. So this is going to be an adventure and a half. And with me, as always, down in the great sunny, but yet chilly, but not really chilly state of Florida, is my tag team partner, as always, Matt Jackson. Matt, how the hell are you?
Good. It's t-shirt and shorts weather, so I'll take that. And we're live, bro. Yeah, your hotel internet, my Wi-Fi internet. We talk about it all the time on this podcast. Yeah. For two career combo guys in the military, boy, we suck. Anyway, but
there's no way for me to run my Starlink in here, and
I know,
yeah, I got fiber optic.
Yeah, I don't think they'd watch you.
Home, so meh.
Yeah,
and then. But you know what is good news, Matt? We have something special for everybody coming up, and I will be on good internet again. Thank you. And we were going to do some cool stuff coming up, so keep an eye on our thread, on our YouTube and everything else this week. We're going to have a great time, something real special for everybody, but I don't want to spoil it. We try to stay away from spoilers here. Or actually, screw it. Heyman likes spoilers, so do I. So stuff's coming. That's your spoiler.
Yep.
But Matt, it's actually been an interesting time.
Coming soon.
And we haven't had one of these in a while. We're going to have a quick Sean rant, and it's going to be a theme throughout this entire podcast. WWE, and I talked about this last week too, so this is nothing new. We have got to get off this effing 3-week cycle thing. It is ruining so much, and we'll touch on why I'm saying this, but I think I texted you today. I was like, I don't know what happened to WWE writers, but man, during the Bloodline timeline, they were writing freaking War and Peace. And now they're like doing comic strips or freaking, little vignettes and freaking insert little magazine here. They're like
Cliff Notes. I was going to say Cliff Notes for War and Peace, maybe?
They're not even Cliff Notes. It's just, we're not getting good storytelling.
Yeah, no.
And I think the big problem is that they're not, I think in order to pull it off, if you really had to have these 3-week cycles, because we're getting PLE, then we get a Saturday night's main event. Then we get a PLE, we get a Saturday night's main event. Fine, but I think what we really need is some planning, right? If Matt is going to be on Saturday night's main event, his story should go through the PLE without taking part in the PLE and go 6 weeks to Saturday night's main event. Or if you need said person on the PLE, then you don't put them in a storyline that's for Saturday night's main event. There's enough effing talent on that roster. We don't need to be playing these games. All it takes is a little bit of forecasting, and I get it, man. We want the Cody Rhodes. We want the CM Punks. We want all these guys on all this stuff, but it's just terrible right now.
They need to go back to when they had brand-specific PLEs. This is a SmackDown PLE. This is a Raw PLE. And once in a while, you can have guys switch over, like AKA The Vision, because they're everywhere. But I think if you alternated these shows, and the Big Four can be a mix of everybody, because they're always going to be the Big Four, and they need to be big. But your Saturday Night's Live, Saturday Night's main event, maybe you can mix that up, but I'm talking about these PLEs. They need to be more brand specific. Maybe you could they seem to be doing a Saturday Night's main event every other month, so I think, you could go brand. There's enough talent on the roster, even with the injuries that they have, that can cover down.
They got enough.
And as you see, we've been getting guys from outside guys from NXT, guys from TNA that are coming up and doing spot stuff. So there's plenty of talent out there where you can do brand specific shows. And I think I used to like it in the mid 2000s when they were really big. And also, it created a rivalry between Raw and SmackDown. And then the draft really meant something. And then on your big show like Survivor Series, it opened up for Raw versus SmackDown. It had a little bit more competition. So
Kind of,
I think
I
it
hem
would
and haw about it though.
it'd make it easier.
I hem and haw.
I think it would make it easier to write the stories, and I think you get better storytelling.
Maybe. So let's get into SmackDown.
I mean, sure.
Let's get into SmackDown because we'll stay on this topic all freaking night, and it's going to keep on reeling its ugly head, and we'll all see why. And actually, here's a microcosm of it. SmackDown kicks off. All the ladies are out there. Charlotte basically tells Rhea, "I don't trust you," and I'm out. Cool. Something happens on Raw that changes things. Here's the problem. Wouldn't it have been better to go an extra 2 weeks of will she, won't she? Wouldn't it be more compelling? Maybe let Alexa Bliss take an ass kicking for a couple of times. And then,
a Friday night before a Survivor Series, like next Friday night, the night before, Charlotte finally can still say, "I don't trust you, Rhea, but I'm with you on this one." Kind of like they did with CM Punk and the Bloodline a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're not letting stuff breathe right now. It's just like, It's it. We're here, and it's done. So, all right. Yeah. So I'm going to skip over that because we'll talk about it more when we get into Raw. But so we get
yes, sir,
Jey Uso and The Miz. And I'm going to tell you, I was pulling for The Miz. I thought he deserved to advance.
I have to agree with that, too, because we know Jey Uso's going to be around the world title or the major storyline. So you could have had The Miz go over here, and it would have been fine. Because really, The Miz and Cena have like a pretty good history. And I don't think we're going to, now we're not going to get to see a rehash of that history. So, I'll agree with that. I mean, it was a good match. There was The Miz even threw, a lot of these wrestlers are throwing in some Cena tributes. The Miz did a nice job with his. But yeah, even in my notes, I put Miz should have gone over. It would have been cool. I don't care that Miz is a heel.
Here's the problem with this tournament, and we'll get into it more. We're going to actually talk about the tournament pretty in depth here towards the end. But here's the problem with the tournament. Unless it's the person that's slated to win, shake it up. Would we have been bummed? Why did Jey Uso need to win? Is he going to win the whole thing? Like, it's just less compelling, but it would get really compelling if it got shaky, right? Like, if Miz beats Jey, and he didn't have to win clean, just let Jey slip on a banana peel. We need more of that right now. Let the Miz go over. Let him advance. Let him talk his crap. Miz isn't wrong. Well, the promos he's cutting either.
Yeah. No, the Miz lost, but I bet you R-Truth goes over in his first round matchup.
He doesn't have one.
I thought he was. I thought he was in the tournament. They said he was already in the tournament.
We'll talk about it. He's not. I got the whole bracket. Round 2 starts next week. So there's only 2 more matches.
November Madness.
There's only 2 more matches right now. That's Finn Balor and Penta and Bronson Reed and Carmelo Hayes. Those are the only 2 matches left for the first round.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm sure R-Truth thinks he's in it, but he's not. So after that, we get the Open Champion, the United States Open Challenge. And, I like that we got a little clarity on why, Dragunov's just kind of like, F your face, Ciampa. Like, no. He's just like, you're not being respectful about it. And we get Axiom. And, God, dude, I can watch Frazier and Axiom just do stuff, all the time. Like, Frazier had his match last week, and now I got to watch Axiom. I'm like, they're so good. They're so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and Dragunov's just a beast. He's incredible. So before I talk a little bit about the match, I was flipping through social media, and I saw about a 45-second clip of Dragunov and Gunther when Gunther was Walter and about 50 pounds heavier in NXT UK doing a chop fest. Bro, it was like attempted murder. There was definitely a felonious assault going on in that ring. I mean, they beaten like the ever-loving crap out of each other. I mean, I watched it 3 times because the first time I was wincing the whole time, so I didn't get to see it all. And by the third time, I got to see it all. I'm like, I've seen enough. So if those 2 ever touch down the line, Gunther and Dragunov, man, take my money, WWE, because that's a money match anyway. But
I had a couple of interesting...
that tornado DDT, that tornado DDT in this match was like brutal. Like the whole match was fantastic. I mean, Dragunov, every time he goes out, it's a quality match. It's it's a letter grade, 4+ stars out of 5 every match.
I came out with 2 observations out of this match, and I think I was texting them to you live as we were watching. One is, I think Dragunov just needs a smidge of something. I've been saying this about Gunther. Gunther needs a little of something extra, and I think actually Dragunov's a little closer to that something. I don't know what it is, but this little thing to throw him into like epic territory. The other observation I made, Sami Zayn, Dragunov is everything Sami Zayn couldn't pull off. Meaning, Dragunov can spend an entire match getting his ass beat, but he does it in a way that you don't think he's out of it. And like, he doesn't have to go Super Dragunov to get back into the match. He takes his hits, he kind of, gives it a couple of blows it out a couple of minutes, and then he's right back in it. He recovers quickly. But like the way he paces his matches and takes his bumps and everything else, man, that kid is so good, man. That's everything that Sami Zayn should aspire to be. Like, if you're going to play an underdog character, that's how you do it. It was brilliant. Brilliant.
Well, Dragunov's a badass too, which Sami doesn't come across that way. Like, Dragunov is like, yeah, if I'm in a bar fight, I'd like a guy like Dragunov next to me. Would I want Sami Zayn? Probably not so much. But the only critique I have of Dragunov, I think he needs a better finisher or something. But the H-bomb is cool, but it just doesn't match up with some of the other finishers, like the Penta Driver and these destroyers. Like, I'd like to see... The H-bomb is cool, like he can still use it, but I'd like to see him add like another finisher, whether it be some type of powerbomb, suplex, something.
But you like Gunther, and all he does is like a super power bomb or a sleeper. So like, you gotta make up your mind, bro.
But that's 2. That's one more. That's one more than Dragunov. I'm just saying the H-bomb is cool, but it's like, is that really going to put everybody out? Like, I want him to have like a more variety with his finishers. So if people are looking for the H-bomb, he can go to something else.
That's fair.
That's a finisher. So
that's fair.
But if that's my only critique of Dragunov, that's extremely minor. That dude is, he's incredible. Awesome dude. Awesome to watch.
So after that, we get an impromptu one of the most confusing sequences I've ever experienced in wrestling. So Sami Zayn, Shinsuke, Rey Fenix, and Motor City Machine Guns get involved with MFT, right? And like, we're watching this go down, and I'm texting you, I'm like, are we getting 3 War Games matches? Like, because it felt like, they were setting up a War Games match, and 5-on-5, and I'm like, are we getting 3? And, later on, they obviously, like, put out that it's going to be a, Survivor Series rules match, but it's going to be on SmackDown, which is cool. I like it. I do like it, so long as they give it time, right? It's going to be on USA. I expect that to go a hot minute, especially with the talent involved. So it'll be interesting. It just kind of threw me off. I was just like, are we setting up a 3rd match? Like, is that, hey, man.
Yeah, because I was thinking that too, and I'm like, because right now there's only 4 matches scheduled for the pay-per-view, right? For Survivor Series.
The women's, the men's.
Wait a minute. The women's, the men's,
one,
and you
the
got...
men's one, Vakir, and your favorite wrestler.
Vakir and Bella. Yep. Yeah, yours too, buddy.
We'll get to it.
And then you got Dom and Cena.
Yep, Dom and Cena. So that's 4. That's fine. I mean, for this, unless you want the PLE to go super long, like those matches, those War Games matches, and we're going to get into it, like with the talent that's in there, those should be an hour each. At least the men's better be an hour.
Well, now that Roman's in War Games, his entrance alone is going to take about 12 and a half minutes.
It can't. He'll be in the cell because they'll get stacked.
That's all right. He'll find a way to just stand on the stage for like another 4 minutes rather than one.
Mean mugging. All right.
Who the hell knows?
So
anyway, hey, I love that before that they had a segment with R-Truth, Chelsea Green, and Nick Aldis, where Chelsea Green was complaining that she wanted her party, and then R-Truth showed up, and then more balls comments ensued. That stuff was great.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks with R-Truth and the balls.
You know why? It was teasing this next match. which we found out who LA Knight's mystery opponent was, which was Zack Ryder, a.k.a. Matt Cardona, a.k.a. Chelsea Green's husband. So,
Yeah.
it
Yep.
was, and it was cool.
You meant LA Knight, yeah.
Yeah. LA
No,
Knight
it
and
was.
Zack Ryder. Sorry, there's so many names involved.
Yeah.
But
well, like I got confused. I got Penta and I got Rusev confused a couple weeks, and you corrected
because
me.
they look totally
LA
the same.
Yeah, because LA Knight is him and R-Truth. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to distinguish them in a crowd.
Elias and Ezekiel, Penta and freaking Rusev.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But no, so we get LA Knight defeating Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder being the mystery opponent, which I'm not going to belabor this point, but because I thought LA Knight should go over in this one, but I'm going to come in hot and heavy on the Raw one, on the mystery opponent for Raw, because I got beefs. Because I don't think that, and this goes back to what we were talking about, writing team. Right now, they're just going chalk in this tournament, right? Like, the people you think are going to win are winning. And you don't even really think there's going to be an upset. It just is like having a match to have a match, so.
And the good thing about the tournament is you've had some really cool matchups this first round. The problem is that I'm 100% on predicting who's winning every one.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's not that hard. The people winning are the people you expected to win. So, like, it's kind of boring, right? And, what's the point of having a mystery opponent if there's no chance in hell a mystery opponent's going to go over? But I'll say that for later.
And the match was really good, but you could have all the good wrestling matches you want, but if it leaves you like, well, I knew that was going to happen, or that doesn't make sense, then it takes away. You can have all the best wrestling in the world, but if it doesn't make sense, why are you wasting the effort? Like, make it make sense.
I concur, like, fully. After that, we get Jade Cargill and B-Fab. That went about as much as we expected it to. So, I don't have much on this. I do think Jade is coming into her own. I think her being a heel is more natural for her. I think her getting her eye slit open actually adds to the mystique a little bit, but yeah.
Yes. And with her being a heel and her saying now that I'm that bitch, she can get away with beating these competitors in 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because now, like, the break, I'm not trying to quote Jacob Fatu, but take the brakes off Jade Cargill and just let her beat the crap out of people, especially these mid-carders. Like, we know mentions she's next on the list, so destroy her too. So that way, when she fights somebody that lasts, like she could be like the female Brock Lesnar. She beats the crap out of people, 2 minutes, it's over. If you last 5 minutes or longer, you're really doing something. So I kind of like the squash, and that's my only note from it. I said it's a total squash, and I put as it should be.
Well, that's all right. They're rolling out Team Squash. They should actually make a faction and call them that. All the B-Fabs and the Meechins and insert whomever else. Team.
Well, we've kind of done that in the past with we have the job squad, we have the B team, B team, go, whatever they were, which was Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas and who's the other? Kurt Hawkins, Kurt Hennig's son. That was the.
You know what though? Who's been lurking in the backgrounds lately? We did have a Bo Dallas sighting. We did have an Uncle Howdy floating around in backstage, so that was exciting too. Means that we're about to get some Wyattness. All right, so the night ends. Cody Rhodes hits Bronson Reed, and really this is all just a setup that Paul Heyman is an effing genius. Epic, uber, super genius. The fact that Drew McIntyre comes out, starts wreaking freaking havoc. All this comes out, losing his mind, and Heyman's just sitting there like, anybody.
You said
anybody. And he just said it so condescending and smug. I was like, oh my God, I love Paul Heyman in this. So, like, the problem is, and I kind of started putting the pieces of the puzzle together. So, what I really think is, I think Logan Paul is part of the vision. I think Drew McIntyre is a one-off, to be honest with you. So, if you noticed, like, on Raw, when they did the intros in Raw.
Yeah, Drew wasn't there.
Paul came out with the bronze. Drew came out on his own. So maybe Heyman is just going to go with a young stable, which is cool. I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. But we get them. We get the heels standing tall, and earlier on we got
and
what
then
we got.
you called it right in the money because I wasn't watching the clock, and you're like commercials. 2 minutes of wrestling, followed by more commercials of 5 minutes of wrestling, and then other assorted crap. And you're about right. Like,
I know how
I,
the game is played.
I would have rather they not made it a world title match because it didn't make sense. Like if Reed is fighting Cody for the world title, and then you send the Bronze in to get him DQ'd, you've kind of like cut off your nose to spite your face. If it's a non-title match, you don't care about winning or losing.
Yeah, but
But I
if
mean,
I
you get
make it a
I'm just saying.
if I make it a non-title match, 9 times out of 10, if it's a non-title match, there's a couple of things you automatically assume. If I hear non-title match, I assume that the face is going to get screwed. Well, the title holder is going to get screwed, and they're going to slip on a banana peel, right? Like anytime I hear non-title, so I don't care that it was a title match. It's just, and I also think that there's a little bit of stat padding going on too, which is when Cody kind of had some lean defense times over this past year, and everybody's like, so you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth, right? Like you can't be like Roman never defended because he didn't, but like at least the last iteration, the tribal chief iteration of Roman did not really defend that title all that often.
No.
So like you're kind of trying to reset that with Cody, and Cody's a workhorse, so he's going to be out there doing it.
Oh, no, I respect the fact that they built it to his character. Like, yeah, oh, you want the title too? Yeah, I'll put the title up. Book it. All this. So I mean, I appreciate that because he shows he's a fighting champion. It's just that as soon as they said that, I'm like, well, Reed's not winning the world title, and it's going to be a wonky finish. So that way, so I'm like that. But that's my logic. Like, why would you ask for a world title and then like
I
I'll
know.
take the DQ loss just to have the bronze?
I think
I know it's a setup for Survivor, but that'd be like your Bills going to the Super Bowl and like, yeah, we're gonna bench Josh Allen, we're gonna bench like we're gonna put all our second stringers in for the Super Bowl. Not that anybody's hurt. We just want to. We haven't tried them out all
the
year. I
young
think
guys
now's
get
a
a
good
shot.
time to go.
Like let the young guys.
Yeah, let them get some airtime. So I mean, maybe it's a bad comparison, but
Yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't. I guess it makes pro wrestling sense. It just doesn't make real life sense, I guess. But oh well. It is to build up Survivor Series War Games. I get it, but it was an okay show. It was good for 2 hours. Which I don't know if you've heard. There's a rumor going around, and I know we don't like getting into rumors, but as of the first Friday in January, there's a rumor that SmackDown may go back to 3 hours. Okay, so I know you said 2:30 is your happy spot, but
I think
maybe 3 hours. So
I actually will get WWE credit a little bit on this one. I know, shocker. So
yeah, because you're mad at them lately.
I have been. It's the writing staff, but we'll get into it. But so I think 3 hours is fine, and I'll give them credit in this. They were smart enough to go, you know what, during the summer, fall, crap's running short. And I think that you need more meat on the bone because maybe WrestleMania season SmackDown does need to be 3 hours. Maybe, you hit the summer months and you kind of trim back a little bit and then you go long. They have that flexibility on Netflix. It's one of the things I love about Netflix because to your point, like when that when that main event came up this week on SmackDown, all I had to do was look at the clock and I knew exactly what was going to happen. But if we go into 3 hours and I like the unfettered clock. I like it when I don't know when it's going to end. Netflix is so compelling at times because, I don't know, they might go long, might go short. Maybe we'll go to Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know if we'll have enough time, so.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what the sale is.
Yeah. Well,
if you get some BOGOs, I'm there. But I think last night's Raw didn't even go 2 hours and 25 minutes. And when I was first watching it, like we weren't even like on this. I think we just started the second match, the Ziggler match, and I'm like, oh, I think plus it's an MSG show, so I'm like, I bet you they're gonna go like 240, 245. And all of a sudden, the main event ended. They rolled credits. It was like 2 hours and 22 minutes.
Oh, they rolled credits,
and then whoever rolled
yeah,
and then they went another 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, which was cool. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, we're at Madison Square Garden last night.
We were,
and that place was packed, man. We weren't physically there, folks, but the WWE was.
Matt, your Boston crowd did you proud, man, but New York outdid y'all this time. That Garden crowd
I'll give
was
kudos
hot.
to New York. Well, I'm gonna give them some credit too, though. But they also put the smaller screen at MSG so they could open up that other end of the bowl. So Boston probably had 14, 15,000. I bet you they had 20 to 22,000 jammed into Madison Square Garden. So you had a bigger crowd, but yeah, they were rabid from go until the end of the show.
It was
One of the better crowds of the year for the U.S. crowd.
as soon as they started hinting about Cena, like that crowd was just ready. They're like, let's go. And it was beautiful. So Cena comes out, does Cena things. Like, we won't get into that. Then we get Dom. And Dom comes out, and Dom basically went, yep, page one from heel book. He cut the promo short. He cut the love fest short. You were like, oh, we were talking earlier today, and you're like, oh, I wish they would have let him go. I was like, no, this is perfect. Dom's a heel, man. Like, that's the whole point of being a heel. Like, you come out and you take away what people want. Chef's kiss. Brilliant.
Well, I'm not saying Cena should have got through everything, like reminiscent about his career in New York, but I think he should have started telling like an interesting story that would, because the crowd would. Tessitore said it was 12 and a half minutes. I don't know, maybe it was that much. They went long chanting Cena and singing and all that stuff. But if like you had given, say, Cena 30 or 45 seconds where he just starts telling a real compelling, either something that happened at MSG in the past or whatever, it would have quieted that crowd down. They would have got hooked on what Cena was saying, and that's when I would have shot Dom out. Because just as the crowd was getting vested and Cena was going to say something really good, and I know they kind of did it with Dom coming out earlier, but I would have given the fans, like they say, you always want to give them a taste.
Yeah.
Like, give them a taste that makes them want more. You didn't get a taste of it like, oh, this is going to be good. And then, boom, they hit Dom's music. I would have let Cena talk, again, 30, 45 seconds, enough to get the crowd, like, from being yelling to, like, quieting down and focusing on what Cena's saying. And then you hit the Judgment Day music and Dom can come out. And I think it would have even been a more
Well,
negative
he did
reaction.
great.
But he did. Dom is gold right now.
He is. And the fact that Cena was like, all right, you want to do this? And he's like, no. And I was like, perfect. Bravo. Like, I even said it before he said it. As I was watching, I was like, just go no. Like, just do the no thing. And then he did it. I was like, and he gave you a good reason
You know
why?
Because Cena's been calling these shots since January. Since he put himself in the Royal Rumble, Cena's called the shots on everything, and nobody's bucked him. And Dom was the first one to be like, nope. Correct me if I'm wrong, but nobody has said no to anything Cena said on this retirement tour that I know of.
The
And
beauty of
Dom
it
did it
is,
last
though,
night.
all right, so this is where we get some positives. We get some positives in this because this is one of the exceptions where I don't need a build. Like, they gave us the why. They told us why we needed to have this match. He had a counter answer like, hey, no, we did it in your hometown. We're going to do it in my hometown. Done. Perfect. Perfection. And then you get Judgment Day out there, and then because of all the stuff with Judgment Day, you're kind of like, are they cool? Are they cool this week or no? No? Yes? Maybe? So there was that. But no, just well done. Obviously, it evolves into, fantasy booking, if you will, because we get Judgment Day, so we get Tom Finn and JD McDonough versus John Cena, Sheamus, and the Fountain of Youth, Rey Mysterio. Like,
Yeah, no kidding.
But this match, like, I don't know. I have a hard time calling it a match. I would say more so it's an exhibition because it was just like, it was just there, It's like the South Park character that works for the cable company, like, yeah, like, that's all it was. It was just there to just make you go, oh, my nostalgia meter is just pegging right now. And, like, it was all fun spots. The synchronized 10 beats. You got the
15 knuckle shuffle.
Bro, the 15 knuckle shuffle was executed to perfection. It was so beautifully done. I cannot express how good it was. And then, of course, they wrap it up. It gets to 619, which knocks him into Sheamus. So Sheamus gets his bro kick. Cena gets the AA. And then, woo!
Yep.
And
everybody hugs happily.
Now.
So one note I had from this match, and it fits in perfectly, we kind of talked about it earlier this afternoon, was I wrote this is what I wrote. I'm like massively overbooked, but wildly fun. Like it was just a lot of fun. And that's so it's not a there was a lot of silliness, there was a lot of overbooking, but it fit for that. I don't want to see this like in,
I don't need to see Cena in a
I
great
don't want
match. He's only got 2 more appearances left. Like, I just want to have fun with it, and
right.
the crowd does too. So let him have his
And
fun.
he's got history with Sheamus and Ray.
Yeah.
So like it was a happy moment. So I didn't give a grade to the match because like you said, it
I'll
was
give it an
a
A.
lot of
It
overbooked
was an
stuff.
A because it was
But
what
the
it was needed to
whole
be.
segment with once Dom came out all the way through the end of the match, that was a work. And Rey Mysterio, like my wife was like, I didn't know he was that good. So I have homework to do. I have to pull out some old '90s Rey Mysterio,
WCW
especially
Ray.
Ray against Eddie, which
Yeah.
is incredible, and maybe Ray against Psychosis
Yep.
in ECW, because just to watch those guys kill themselves on railings and concrete floors is just a thing of art. But yeah, it was fun, and it was 40 minutes, but it flew by. It was a
Yeah.
lot.
You were
It was
engaged the
great,
whole time,
and
and it was just go. It was beautiful.
the only thing I wish I would have seen a little bit more, you didn't get to see Cena and Finn have much interaction in the ring. He had a long stretch with Dom, and he had a long stretch with JD, but he had, I think, minimal contact with Finn, which leads me to think, like, could Finn be the guy to win the tournament? If there's your dark horse, could you throw
I
Finn
wouldn't hate
Balor in
that,
there?
but I don't want to talk about the tournament in that sense because we're going to go.
No, I'm just throwing that as a thought.
So, okay, cool. So we had a lot of fun, and then because they have to be Debbie Downer, Matt's favorite female wrestler came out and assaulted the young favorite wrestler, which is Stephanie Fakir. Matt, okay, she's a heel. Can we get new outfits? She's so out of
She
place.
still sucks.
She just does not look like a heel. She doesn't. I don't know, dude. Like, I need Maleficent. I don't need like Malibu Barbie pretending to be Maleficent, man. Like, I need some evil. And like, she comes out with her,
Yeah, like
I think what did I text you that like she's like a millimeter away from because she's older. I'm not saying like dress your age. I'm not that sexist, but like she's a millimeter away from wearing like leggings or sweatpants that say juicy across the ass or pink or whatever and coming out. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's just like, change it up, man. Go dark. Go dark. Like, because coming out with the ball cap backwards, the shorts that really aren't shorts, I don't know. All the whole getup looks ridiculous because I can't take her seriously like that. You know what I mean? You're
no,
not some like college student
it's
like
just
doing funnels and keg stands right now, man. Like, lean into being a heel and make yourself more. I don't know. Like, it really bothers me because she has a leg to stand on because of her work in the past, but like, you can't go back and relive 10 years ago. You need to come in new. You should be older, wiser, smarter, better. So, like, coming out, like I said, like you're at a frat party and you're doing keg stands just isn't cutting it for me, man. I want some legitimate heel.
you're not advancing your cause, and you're not catching up. And she doesn't have to go like in an all black outfit. Here
No,
we are
I'm
talking
just,
about fashion.
I was
But I'm
using it
just saying,
as an example.
like when Bailey went heel, she didn't go like she had colors. She had black and white and gold. Like, she just needs to have something that, like, if you look at her dressed up now, like, you don't think heel, like you said, you think like, goofy baby face, whatever. Put an edge on her.
She's
Do
the
something.
old
Got to do
person at the
something.
freaking frat party, dude. Like, that's all I see right now. Like, old person at the frat party.
Yeah.
Really?
Or she's like one of the, like, if you go like to see like an 80s hair band, and then you see like these 55 and 60-year-old women that like decide it's a good idea to wear like the see-through yoga pants and like the bustier top, which fit 25 years ago, but sadly gravity and time has taken their toll, but they still think they can pull it off. They can't. Not saying that Nikki Bella looks like rough, like she's in great shape. She
No,
looks great for her
she
age.
looks like
But
she's in great shape.
she should just be comfortable with the fact that, hey, I'm older, I'm a heel. Let's look like it. Let's do it. Let's look authentic. Let's look real. Like, yeah, don't her looks And the music. Oh my God, the music's
Yeah, that's the other
music.
thing. She needs new music too, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think part of the problem is, right? Like, she's trying to sell herself as like, I'm coming back to be this. I'm coming back because I know I'm great and I'm taking over the division again, right? Like, that's her pitch, if you will. But the problem is she's still living off an identity that she shared with her sister. Like, come out anew. She's in the perfect position to go through a total revamp. Like, that's what I think my biggest problem is. It's just like we're riding that nostalgia train, and it's just like it's not working for me. Like, she needs new music, she needs new look, all of it.
And I don't think this is doing Stephanie Vakir any favors. I hope it changes after Survivor Series and she can start fighting people like Io Sky and Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair and all these top people. Because right now, I'm starting to think like, did they give Vakir? And I like Vakir a lot, but I'm like, did they give her the belt too soon?
Nah,
Should they have waited
this
until
is
they could have
actually.
had?
I mean, let's take a pause on that though, because I think that this is a testament to Vakir more than it is a detriment, in the sense that we kind of talked about this with Becky, right? Like, all these returning superstars gravitate towards Becky because they know Becky is gonna kind of cover up for them and make them look like $1,000,000. And I think this is a vote of confidence with Vakir. Like, if Vakir can make Nikki Bella look serviceable, it might even be better. So, like, sink or swim, man. Look, she ain't got that much to overcome. Like, to be honest,
Yeah,
the
I don't know.
title's been kind of meh.
I want to see. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for. I want to see like Fakir and Roxanne Perez have a little feud because they match up so well. Let's just get through Nikki Bella and let's get her some really good opponents that we can see what she can really do. I just think being fighting against Nikki Bella is going to limit Stephanie a lot on what she can and can't do
That's
because
fine,
of
though. I mean,
Nikki's.
like, we're going to get past it. So,
Boy, we sound like a couple of grumpy old men. We're like
I'm
that
about to
movie
take
there
it to
with
a
what's
whole new level,
Walter
man.
Matthau and
I'm about to take it to a
I'm the
whole new
Walter
level.
Matthau to your Jack Lemon, man. I'm telling you.
I'm about to take this to a whole new grumpy level, because the next match, we find out who the other mystery opponent was. It's Solo Sikoa and Dolph Ziggler, aka Nick Nemeth, a host on Busted Open. Like, look, this is where I lost my crap on the writing team. This was the start of it. And the reason is because why do mystery opponents when all, like, so Zack Ryder came in and he lost, and I'm like, okay, kind of get it, right? And like, so then we get Nick Nemeth out there. Sorry, Dolph Ziggler. We get Dolph Ziggler out there, who was over. New York loved his
I
ass.
think the only person who got a bigger pop than Dolph was Cena. Like, I mean, that place exploded when Dolph came out.
And everybody in that building wanted him to go over. So you and I kind of went back and forth, and I caught you in the trap, and you got sucked in. Because you said, once I saw it was Ziggler, I knew he wasn't winning because he's a TNA guy. And I was like, that is a problem. If you are going to reach out to other wrestling organizations and bring in their talent you're going to bring that talent in to be surprise wrestlers and everything else, at some point you got to let them go over, and not just in NXT. And that was a prime opportunity. Because guess what? Unless Solo Sikoa is going to win the whole effing thing, I don't give a flying rat's ass that Solo Sikoa won. You could have put Dolph Ziggler over, just like The Miz could have went over. You could have had them go over, and then, you get a little something, something. Because now you lend credibility, because now, anytime I see a TNA wrestler on the main, wrestling in the main roster, they're going to lose. I just assume that now.
Yep.
That's a problem.
Well,
because
aren't you
why
glad that they
surprise
didn't
me
put
with
Joe
it?
Hendry in this tournament? Yeah. Well, good thing it wasn't Joe Hendry. No, he's not in your room.
You said it, not
He's
me.
actually over there.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
I know. He's over. He's on.
Well,
He's
see,
over by the wood line.
I knew it wasn't him when Adam Pearce kind of said nobody has guessed who it is. So I was like, okay, we got to go outside the box, because everybody and their brother was guessing Joe Hendry. So I don't know, man. Like, this is where I thought this is where them going chalk across the board is really effing frustrating. Yes, there's been a couple of coin flip matches. So like Sheamus Shinsuke, coin flip. Like, you could have went either way on that one. But like some of these matches, it's just like, and we'll get into the one later, but I don't know, dude. Like, they missed an opportunity because they could have done. The problem is that I feel like right now there's no long term vision in the writing room, none. And it ties back to what we were saying earlier about the 3 week cycles because now we got to get on.
Yep.
We have to do a build in 2.5 weeks because they usually have a recap show, which screws everything up. So now we only got 2.5 weeks. So a handful of shows to establish everything that's supposed to happen in the next one. And you got one of your big four coming up, and we've been fiddle-faddling with crap leading up to it. So now, and like I said, this is a prime opportunity, though. I guess my problem is the tournament was sold as everybody's going to get a chance. And yes, everybody's getting a chance technically. But from a bigger perspective, I think it would have been 10 times more impactful if Dolph Ziggler advances unexpectedly and would have made the tournament feel a little more not half-assed, if that makes sense, right? Now it feels like we're having a tournament to have a tournament. You know what I mean? We're just going to advance people through and we're going to do whatever. So, I don't know. Like, this one started my downfall last night. Like, I got in my own head, but, man, it really pissed me off.
Which, it's kind of too bad because they've had some really intriguing matches in this tournament. And they could have made, like you said, more. You could have had the Miz against Dolph. Because unless they don't want Solo or anybody from the MFT to take a loss because they're trying to build them up because they'll do stuff with the Wyatts here soon. I don't know. But, yeah, like, I think we were talking about it over the phone, but you mentioned like when March Madness comes and you get that 15 beats of 2 or 14 beats of 3, that's what like the TV ratings go crazy for those games because everybody will get the alerts on their phone like, oh, like Howard University is like beating Duke by 5 with like 10 minutes to go in the game, and what does everybody do? They go right to the game and watch it.
Well, even more
now
so,
it's peaked interest.
Even more so, like using the same analogy, like. What happens when you get like a 12 that makes it to the lead 8? Or, you know what I mean? Like, that's compelling over time. Like, let's have somebody.
And what that does is if you may not have a team in that fight in that final 8, but like, man, I'm going to pull for that 12 seed. Like, I don't even know what state that college is in, and like, they don't have a guy over 6'4" in that team, but they're gutty and they're fun to watch. And those are my guys.
Yes.
Well, that's my team.
Yes,
so.
And that's what
I think
Ziggler could have been that. Miz could have been that. Miz could have been just that underhanded underdog, and you just kind of take him down to the semifinals, and then you boot him. Like, okay, cool, we got down to the final 2.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Miz would have been a great choice because even though he's a heel, he's been around forever, and I think that the fans would like really respond to someone like the Miz isn't losing every week. Like he's finally getting like a nice little run going. You got to have some of these other guys get wins every now and again. You just can't have them.
Yes.
Every time you see them on TV, well, they're going to end up staring at the lights. Like, no, you want them to get over now and again.
All right. So after that, Charlotte Flair, despite all her misgivings about Rhea Ripley, finds the only kendo stick available because for some reason when WWE travels, kendo sticks are like gold. You can always find them. And she comes
How do they get it through TSA?
I don't know. I mean, it's only wood. It's not metal. I don't know. So she finds a kendo stick. She saves Alexa. And now we kind of, I guess, Charlotte's back in. She never officially said she was in. So we can still play a little bit of games, but we don't have time to play games. So who the F knows? That's my problem in all this, right? Like, if we had a build, we could have went a couple of weeks, could have done the will she, won't she, all this other crap. But no, we're on a 3-week cycle. Hurry up, set up the match.
Yep. Well, you still could have waited until SmackDown the night before Survivor Series, where Rhea and Io and Alexa and AJ are just running around trying to find a 5th person. And finally, Charlotte's like, yeah, I'll do it. Kind of like we said with CM Punk a couple years ago. But, yeah, it was just, I don't know. It just seems like the booking lately has just been like when you're I saw it a lot being an instructor, but you go out to the firing range to qualify the weapon, and all of a sudden one guy's shooting at his target, but the problem is the 2 idiots next to him are shooting at his target as well. So it's just like a lot of shot going through, but nobody can well, did I do good? Did I not do good? Like, did I pass? I only had 40 rounds, but there's 112 holes in my target. So that's kind of what the booking is. It's like we're just throwing everything and like we hope it lands. So
Well, it's
yeah,
just
it's just
not meaningful. It's just we're doing stuff to do stuff. But we got
like, oh,
something
we're just going to
meaningful.
change our mind after 3 days. Yeah.
We got something meaningful. We got this match between Maxine Dupree and Becky Lynch. And Maxine Dupree is your new women's Intercontinental Champion. And let me tell you, I am shocked they pulled the trigger. I am hopeful, and it is probably going to be a really short title run. But good for her. And I was glad to see Tozawa and Otis. And I'm glad she got some love because she's made a lot of improvements and obviously is putting the work in. Shit. She used to be a Rams cheerleader. Did you know that?
Really? I did not know. I thought she was like a gymnast. Like
so much so, I saw a post from the Rams congratulating their former cheerleader on winning the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Everybody's talking about it, Matt. Even the NFL. NFL said it. The Rams say it.
So Maxime Dupree is now water cooler talk, folks.
Yep. Now, look, obviously this had to...
Hey, can we really give the kudos to really who the kudos belong to? And that's Becky Lynch. Especially this run. I've enjoyed this heel run with her probably more than any other run, and that's when she was headlining WrestleManias and fighting Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair and all those matches. This has been more fun to watch Becky Lynch lose her mind. Like, just the little things she does. It's so cool. Like, when they were doing the intros and Alicia Taylor's up there introducing Maxine Dupree with Becky right in her face, like talking trash. Like, not touching her, just talking trash, trying to get in her head. And you can see like Maxine was like getting in her head. So that was well played. And even that, and then we'll talk about the match stuff because there was a cool dynamic between Becky Lynch and Jessica Carr. There was some really solid ground and pound mat and chain and submission wrestling. And Maxine really shone in that. And then when Becky lost, just like the face she made, the way she was acting, she just played it. And the thing is, Maxine won it, and she hightailed it out of the ring. She didn't stick around to, like, get her belt and stand there because she knew Becky probably light her up after that. She rolled out of the ring.
Pyro.
And she did on the ramp. They shot the pyro off after.
Yeah.
She did. Yep, they popped it off when they put the new Intercontinental. Yeah, they shot her pyro. So
that's good.
So good. Maxine got pyro finally. What'd you think of the match, man? I would say mildly surprised.
I was happy with it.
Maxine needs to work on her flippity flop stuff, but that whole segment with the arm bar counter and moving into the ankle lock and then trying to get that stuff was just good.
No, there was a lot of good.
And Becky Lynch gave her.
You can tell she's been working with Natalya. You can tell she's putting the work in, like hardcore putting the work in. Like she's kind of creeping herself up to like Raquel Rodriguez territory for like most improved wrestler because like where she was and where she is now, and again to your point, credit to Becky, man. Like she's making a star right now, and I think that's the biggest thing about her heel run right now. Her heel run really isn't about her at all. Look at the competition that she's been up against and look at what she's been doing to put over talent, especially younger talent. She worked her ass off to put Lyra Valkyria over. She made AJ Lee look like $1,000 and put her over. Now she's putting Maxine Dupree over. Like, who had Maxine Dupree winning IC title on their bingo card? Nobody. And if you say you did, you're a liar because there's no effing way you had that, right? It's just so good.
I can't wait to see her at War Games. She's gonna be awesome. And Becky in War Games with her her mindset right now is just going to be awesome to watch.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm looking for unhinged Becky. Like all her angst, all her anger, all her everything, just pounding people. I want her to go absolutely berserker in War Games. Now, keep in mind, this is the good news. We're probably not going to get her joining the War Games team until Monday. There is no confirmation she's joining the heels. Because I really want Becky to be there because I can't handle Nia Jax on the mic, dude. Like, like, she comes across as so ungenuine when she's talking shit that it bothers me. You know what I mean? She is like a half a breath away from just being like, yeah, that's what she said. She's like the crony from A Christmas Story.
No.
Yeah.
So last night, my wife and I we were perusing YouTube, and we came across we were watching old Saturday Night Live skits from late '80s and early '90s, and there's a skit where Chris Farley, David Spade, and Adam Sandler are all dressed up as the mall girls that work at the Gap. And Chris Farley, where he just like his character like tells a joke, but he doesn't get the punchline right, or she just tells a story, keeps going on and on. That's like Nia Jax. Like she just goes rambles on about a whole bunch of nothing. And then when she gets to the punchline or the tagline, you're like, that didn't come across well. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, some of this Maxine story was also there to get AJ Lee involved. Obviously, she's still got a beef with Becky. Becky will probably just insist on being on the team just because she wants to beat the crap out of AJ Lee. So long as they don't go super vanilla on this, I'm gonna be happy. But like on the heel side, there's
AJ Lee was a nice surprise too.
Yeah, I had a feeling though. My gut was saying that she was gonna be around because like I was sitting there thinking about it. And I'm like, we haven't seen her yet, and so how's she getting in? Right? Like, is it gonna be the typical like I know a person, I'm gonna make a call? Nah, I like this better. She's just there to mentally work over Becky, which is cool with me. So. No, lots of good stuff. So after that, we get Gunther and Javon Evans, and whoo boy, this was fun. I like this match a lot.
Yeah.
I had a blast watching those two go.
Yeah, we got a little retro Gunther / Walter now because he's coming into his old Walter theme music, and I like the robe. And I gotta be honest, and I'm a Gunther guy. Gunther took off his robe, and I was like, oh, he had 3 months off, and he didn't look like he was.
He looked like he put on some weight. Okay.
I mean, Gunther's never going to be chiseled out of stone or anything, but like.
I know.
But this match was fun. We were talking about this earlier today. Watching the match, like, how many times did Gunther swing and miss with the chops? Like, it didn't go to it. Again, we talk about Becky giving. Gunther gave Javon Evans anything
he did.
Javon Evans wanted. Like
this goes back to my gripe though. Like we all knew Gunther was going to win, and like as well as Javon,
you couldn't have Gunther lose.
I understand that point, but it becomes less prevalent if Miz goes over, if Dolph Ziggler goes over. Then it is not prevalent. I'm gonna harp on this because it's just lazy effing booking. And you're writing yourself into effing corners because, like, you could have had Javon, you didn't need to have me having this conversation of Javon Evans not going over. Why? Because you could have had somebody else go over. But instead, all the top seeds, if you will, went over. And it's just really effing frustrating. And the problem is, like, if you look at it, maybe your only underdog is Carmelo Hayes, but, like, he's been getting heated up lately, so I don't even consider him an underdog. I don't know. Like,
that match
I'm sure there'll be shenanigans that puts Carmelo Hayes over, but
even Joe Tessitore, who, when I'm not telling him to shut the hell up, actually made a good point after this match. Was like, the odds were against Javon, but the big thing was he came out looking good. He looked strong. So I kind of liked how Tessitore did that because he
he put him over.
Kind of put a little Band-Aid on it. Yeah, which was good. Speaking of announcers, and I'm not going to belabor much on Joe Tessitore, how I think he should just stick to college football. But we lost a great wrestling announcer from the NWA and Mid-Atlantic days of the 70s and 80s with Bob Caudle, who died peacefully in his sleep at 95 years old. Definitely a voice of my childhood, and for some of our older viewers, a voice that they'll definitely recognize. A guy, he was along the same lines of like Lance Russell from Memphis. I wouldn't put him on the same level as Gordon Soley, but he was that kind of guy, just a straight announcer. Fantastic. Ric Flair has some very nice things to say about him on his page, but that's all I'm going to talk about with Bob Caudle. But yeah, it's kind of. So I watched a little bit of Bob Caudle stuff, so it was good.
Well, good.
But anyway, yeah.
Because I'm about to be like Debbie Downer and really pissy now. So we get to the last thing, the face-to-face.
You haven't been yet?
No, because this is what honestly put me in the mood that I'm in today. So
okay,
we get to the end, the face-to-face. Our heels come out. So we get Drew. I already talked about it. So Logan Paul, the two Browns come out. Then we get Drew. So we got 4. Then we get Punk, kind of instigating, taking his sweet ass time, whatever. Then we get the Usos. That was kind of fun. And then we get Cody. Then we get the answer to the question that we already knew the answer to. Like, true or true, Brock Lesnar will be the 5th person. Of course it's true, right? That's the only answer there. And I actually
Who else could it
appreciated
be?
it. So I think when I was talking to you about this, like, I rated it as a meh reveal, right? So I said when Drew was added to the Survivor Series team for the heels, I said that was great. It was well done. Drew was suspended. He was kind of out of our mind. Next thing you know, Drew shows up. Paul Heyman's going, anybody. Like him in the backstage with the 2 GMs just going, just saying, I didn't write the rules. These are the rules. I respect you both. That slimy double talk that Heyman does, and I was just like, oh, I love it so much. He's like,
Except Pierce needs anger management.
I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just doing the best I can. Like, oh my god, it was so good. So, anyways, when
that makes it even better because he's doing slimy stuff within the context of the rules.
Yes.
So he's not having to break the rules. So he's respecting the GMs and respecting the authority and the rules, but he's finding like little loopholes. He's like an accountant. Like, yeah, I can find you a loophole on your taxes. That's what Paul Heyman does.
And that's
like Paul Heyman's father is a lawyer, so that Paul knows how to vocalize how to find these loopholes because his dad is a lawyer or was a lawyer. So I think it was great. That little segment was awesome.
It's even better than that because if you remember a few weeks ago, right, like the whole thing with Braun Breaker, and he's just like, let's go all snap him in half and all this stuff. And Paul's like, we kind of stepped in it. We're going to chill a little bit, but we're going to get what you know what I mean? So now with Paul being backstage and just like, I played by the rules. It's brilliant because now it's showing like the Braun Breakers of the world, like, hey man, this is what he can do. He knows his shit, right? And that's what made it beautiful. So I said, adding Drew, epic. It was so well done, right? But this is where the problem with the 3-week cycle, and you're going into one of your biggest PLEs. We all knew Brock Lesnar was the guy, so I gave it a meh, for that reveal. Why? Why did I give it a meh? Because A, we knew it was going to happen, but it doesn't get a crapped on rating because it makes sense for storyline wise. Of course Paul Heyman is going to call Brock Lesnar. Of course he is. So like, actually, you know what? I don't want to get ahead of myself. We're not going to talk about that.
I do like that. I like if this is what Brock Lesnar's role should be in. He's like the call to the bullpen for Paul Heyman, which is great because Brock doesn't care about working a ton of dates. He likes working special days. So basically, when Paul needs a Brock Lesnar, you call to the bullpen and you bring in Brock Lesnar. And that's what they did last night. And yeah, it was predictable as all hell, but it's like, I would have been upset if it was somebody other than Brock Lesnar, unless it was like an absolute shocker, like a total baby face that switch. But then it would come across stupid. So yeah, Brock was the right choice. What I don't like was how Brock reacted when a certain somebody came out after they rolled credits.
So we found out who the number 5 guy is for the good guys. This is where I decided that I have my torches and pitchforks out for the rating. Roman Reigns comes out. Hey, why?
Who the hell else would it be?
That's not
Who'd be the 5th guy?
Why? Why? That's what I'm getting at. Like, everything, ever since he's lost the title, has been just, behold, Roman Reigns. Tessitore, man, bro, if I could have reached through my screen and punched that dude in the face. As Roman Reigns is coming out, he's talking about how great, and he does it all by himself. And I'm like, where the F have you been for the last 2 years? Like, he put him over like he's some godlike being. It's like, dude, no. He just lost like the last time you saw him. He lost to Bronson Reed. Like, I'm not crapping on Roman. Not crapping on Roman. I am not. I'm crapping on the situation. Because if I don't get by Survivor Series the why he's doing this, why? He has a beef with Cody. He wants his title back. Last time he told the freaking Usos, I don't want to see you until Christmas. Like, why did he come back? If you come out and you go, my cousins called me family, like you just go Fast and the Furious with it, like, fine. It's half-assed, but at least it's...
There's only one other guy you could have had instead of Roman, and this is who I think they should have went with. because there's already some tension there. Is they should have brought LA Knight in because LA Knight's got
Nah,
tension with
because there's
Jay.
tension on the face side.
Why not?
It makes even less sense than Roman. But like Roman coming in, it's not that it doesn't make
Does
sense.
it?
It's just the execution, and it's like we didn't get to tease it. We didn't get to, you know. I wanted to see the faces. Like I wanted to see them chase a little bit too. You know, like, hey, Sheamus, I'm tied up over here with this thing, or hey, you know, have them kind of looking and exploring and trying to figure out. Instead, we just get the Brock Lesnar came out, and then because Brock Lesnar and Roman have a thing, like Roman comes out. But like the last time he beat like Roman, the last time Roman beat Brock, it took the entire bloodline, 6,000 chairs, and a bunch of other shicey crap. You know what I mean? Like Brock Lesnar came with a freaking, you know, bucket loader. So like whatever, but like I need the why. I do need the why on this because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, unrelated to any storytelling, that's a hell of a card. That is a hell of a card. So CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. That is a hell of a card. That is going to be entertainment at its finest. So I don't have a problem with the end state. It's how we got there.
No, I agree. I did like, and you talk about the amount of talent in that War Games. Paul referenced it in his promo, talking about the Dangerous Alliance and the Samoan SWAT team and the Freebirds, and like I'm like, yeah, take us on that journey through history, Paul. And then he said, "This is the best group." I'm like,
that's cool.
Dangerous Alliance is pretty. Dangerous Alliance is pretty. I like the Dangerous Alliance,
guys.
but as far, yeah,
I love that.
but this group he's got now.
I love that cut though, man. Like the fact that he ran through that list and he was like, if he also, again, this goes back to reinforcing the mentality of Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman. Like this is Heyman hitting his stride. Like, you know, I am there's a reason why I'm in the Hall of Fame. I am one of the greatest wrestling minds. I'm one of the greatest managers ever. And like, this is why I'm important and special because I've done all this. Like the fact that he ran through his War Games freaking resume was brilliant. So let's get rid of the negativity, Matt. We're going to talk about the John Cena tournament real quick, but we're going to look at it from this way. And I want to, it's going to be kind of rapid fire, quick hits. I don't want to deep dive on it. We'll get into a deep dive as we go later on future episodes. Just quick hits right now. I'm going to go through the list of who's won, and then we're going to talk about the 4 people remaining that wrestle on Friday. All right. So I want you, Matt, and I'll also give my spin on this. I want you to tell me why it's a good idea for this person to win the tournament. Now that we know the competitors.
Okay.
All right. So in the first round, Rusev defeated Damian Priest. Why is Rusev a good idea to win?
Because you're trying to push him, and also you have him against Cena. He can win the IC title, and that could open up something for him and Sheamus again. But yeah, if you want to build up a guy like Rusev, yeah, put him against Cena. Do I think he's going to win the tournament? No.
I don't either. And I think of some of the people, I probably have the least like interesting thing for him. Like I think he needs to eventually win the IC title. I would have liked to see him take it off of Dom. Now that we've seen what's happened, but like I have a hard time coming up with a good answer for Rusev. I really do. Like
Rusev should be in the Final Four, though. He should. Yeah.
Well, he's
I'd
so
put Rusev
fresh
in the Final
coming
Four.
back. He's so fresh coming back, and he's kind of establishing himself. So I'm kind of like, okay, all right. So Sheamus defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. This was one of those coin flip matches I was talking about earlier. So I think we're going to agree on this one. But why should Sheamus win the tournament?
I think it'd be great if Sheamus obtains his Grand Slam by beating the guy who just got his Grand Slam for the IC title. So, and there's a lot of history there. And if you're going to give it to a veteran, I think Gunther would be the one veteran that I would probably throw the belt onto. I mean, throw the tournament win to would be Sheamus. So I would say Sheamus. I don't know if he's going to win, but I would like to see it.
I think Sheamus should go over for the same reason you said. I think he completes his Grand Slam. It rewards Sheamus for all his years, and I think it makes it a little compelling. So it would be interesting. So I think there's a good argument for Sheamus. All right, Jey Uso defeated The Miz. We already kind of talked about the match. I'll kick off this one. I don't really see it being beneficial to Jay winning, especially if the IC is involved. But if you're going to heat Jay back up, I guess it's a okay thing, but I definitely have him lower on my list.
Jay, I've already given you my opinion of Jay. I think he should get eliminated next round, but that's just me. And I like Jay.
So, Matt, why should LA Knight, who defeated Zack Ryder, win the tournament?
I think he and Sheamus, that would be my finals in the tournament. If you bracket it right, I would like the finals to be LA Knight and Sheamus. But then again, if LA Knight loses in the finals, then it's like, oh, it's almost there, like with his world title shots. But
so I think if you're going to have LA Knight win it, I'm fine with that. And like LA Knight is an all or nothing thing. If not, he needs to lose in the next round, not the final round. Like he needs.
Right, yeah.
If LA Knight, because the problem is the moniker around him is he can never get over the hump, right? And
yeah, he's just this close. Yep.
You know, so like, but he's been doing phenomenal work. He's kept himself heated up even when they probably wanted to cool him down. He's done great work. So yeah, I think LA Knight, I think he's right up there with Sheamus for me. Like if you want to like kind of rebuild LA Knight's image, that's the way to go. So I think LA Knight's a viable candidate. So Gunther defeated Javon Evans. Look, I'm going to say that outside of Gunther, I think this is actually, if Cena loses the title to Dominic Mysterio, then Gunther is fine. If Cena still has the title, which I think he should, because I think it's a launching platform, right? But if Cena still has the title, I think Gunther's the wrong answer. It's a very interesting fine line, but you want Gunther in the world title picture, you don't need him running around with the IC title.
That's why I don't have Gunther. Maybe you got to your point, talking about you don't want LA to lose in the finals because, it's always been just that close.
Yep.
Maybe you have Gunther Sheamus finals and Sheamus gets over on Gunther in the finals. I'm a Gunther guy. Gunther does not need to win this tournament.
Nope.
He does not need to be in John Cena's final match. He's a world title guy, whether he stays on Raw or moves to SmackDown. He's a world title guy. So he doesn't need this tournament. And as much as I love Gunther, that would just be a bad booking decision to give it to Gunther because he doesn't need it.
Solo Sikoa. I'm just no.
Nope.
Like, I'm just a no.
Nope.
I think with everything he's got going on right now, I don't think he really benefits, and I don't think it does anything for anybody, to be honest. So, I don't think there's a lot of juice to squeeze there. All right, so Friday, we got Finn Balor and Penta. I think Penta winning his...
I got Finn.
I think Finn.
I got Finn.
I think Finn wins, and I can make a great argument for Finn winning the whole thing, which is I think it would be time to like really heat up Finn as a solo, as a single star again. He's always been great at it. You know, I've seen stuff now where like I think NXT Homecoming or something like that. He came back to his original music, so you got the all his cool stuff from back in the day. I could make arguments for that. I think putting a singles title on Finn will let Finn do that because I don't think you want Finn in the world title picture, but I could see him running for a hot minute with an IC so long as he's defending, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think him winning and then kind of getting Dom's belt, so to speak, in that would be like, you have Dom kind of flounder, Dom lose at Survivor Series, and then all of a sudden Finn goes over.
That's a great way to break up it's a great way to break up the Judgment Day. To finally put a nail in the coffin, the Judgment Day is for Finn to win that tournament in the IC title.
And as much as
rip the band.
And as much as I love Penta, and I do love me some Penta, as much as I love Penta, there's two negatives that I have against Penta right now in this context. Well, actually one, which is I don't think he would be a good matchup for Cena. Like, I don't think
the styles would conflict too much.
I don't think his style is conducive for what you would want to see in a Cena final. And, like, I love Penta. I'll watch Penta all day. Now, if this was a Rey Mysterio's done, this is his final match, and it's not Dom, I want Penta, right? You know what I mean? I want that matchup. But I think in this case, that's why I'm like, yeah, Finn probably goes over. and I can make a really good argument for Finn, but I can't make a really good argument for Penta right now because mostly in my head, I'm like, I don't see a great matchup, and I don't see it being something that Cena can go nostalgic on. You know, do I want to see Penta take like 10 AAs, and do I want to see like a Canadian destroyer on, you know, John Cena? Probably not, or Mexican destroyer, you know. So no,
Or it
Carmelo
could be a
Hayes and
Canadian
Bronson
Mexican.
Reed. Who do you got in that one?
I want Carmelo Hayes. If you're gonna push the dude, push him. And obviously Bronson Reed doesn't care if he wins or loses because he just like gave up a world title opportunity by DQ. So and I love Bronson Reed too, but it's already looking like the tournament's starting to get a little bit heel heavy. And so man, if you're gonna try to push Carmelo Hayes, the fans are behind
It's
him.
not heel heavy.
He's getting over it.
It's not though.
It just feels it. It feels
Is
it.
Rusev a heel?
Rusev is a heel.
All right. So Rusev, Sheamus face, Jey Uso face, LA Knight face, Gunther heel, Solo Sikoa heel. So if we're going by that logic, you know, if we're saying Balor's going over, then Carmelo Hayes has to go over. 4-4.
Yep. And there's okay.
So, but what I will say is, I'm with you. I think Carmelo Hayes I would have Carmelo Hayes probably win the whole effing thing, if not Sheamus. I think that he's in my top three. Like, if I needed a parlay of, like, you know, pick one of the three, you know what I mean? Or what do they call it? Trifecta. Or
so yeah, young guy Hayes,
yep.
Old guy Sheamus,
Yep.
Guy in between is LA Knight, but LA
too.
Knight's in his 40s, so he's an older guy. But I don't know. I think LA Knight and Cena would be a really good match. I think their
styles would work out well together. To be honest with you,
because it's high impact. Like
but
LA Knight does a lot of high impact.
But I think if
so
Cena's intent is really to build a superstar, like he just wants to shoot the moon to somebody, Carmelo Hayes is another guy that like would benefit from beating Cena and getting the belt and all that crap. But, like, I can make an argument for Carmelo Hayes. My only argument for Bronson Reed, which it kind of falls into the Penta category, where I'm like, I don't really like the matchup. Like, they'll work out well together, but do we really want to watch John Cena, you know, try to straighten and move Bronson Reed's fat ass over? And
well, you get I
know
John's still wicked strong, so you could have some
but like
power. Here's another thing too. Bronson Reed beat Roman Reigns.
Well,
if Bronson Reed wins this tournament and he beats John Cena, boy, the amount of bragging that Heyman's going to do, like not only to retire John Cena, but he's the tribal thief. He beat the greatest of all time.
It would be Legend Killer Part 2.
Yeah.
I honestly like when Bronson Reed got the match with Cody for a championship, and you instantaneously went, ooh, and I was like, Legend Killer Part 2. Like, if he starts plucking off, like, the top superstars, even if it takes him, like, 2 matches or something like that, because he didn't beat Roman the first time. So, like, if he starts going kind of down the Legend Killer, because that's the whole point in this, too, is that he gained so much credibility with that. And that's why I was like, I would have him chase Cody, or flip it. I'd have him chase Punk, get that title, but I don't care if he beats Cody, but I don't. He's not going to. So I think there's an argument to be made for Bronson Reed. Do I think he's going to win? No. I think Finn Balor and freaking Carmelo Hayes are going to win. Shit happens.
Yeah. And what's nice about this final, whoever wins the tournament, doesn't matter if they're face or heel. This is a one-match thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's no storyline really after it other than talking about the guy that...
If the title's there, there's a storyline there. So, like, that's where it
becomes that there is. But,
challenging.
But,
because,
I mean, other than that, there's no, there's not going to be any revenge factor, none of this. It's going to be mano a mano for either if he has the belt or doesn't have the belt.
And bragging rights idea is really growing on me, just so you know.
Yeah.
The Finn Balor idea is really growing on me as I go here. Because, like, Finn winning it and then rubbing it in Dom's face, that not only did he get the IC title, he beat Cena, which Dom couldn't do, even after talking mad shit. Whew. That's got potential, dude.
So, well, we didn't talk about Dom much on this podcast but we were talking earlier, and I'm like, man, Dom has gotten into 3 of Cena's last 4 matches. I mean, really, he's having a 3-match run. You know, the only other one to have a 3-match R-Truth had a 3-match run with Cena, right? Or was
He
it
did.
2?
Or was it 2?
He had a 3. That's weird. Dom and R-Truth, yeah. But those are different. That was
That's going
back
to
in
be
the
a
old days,
great
back in
trivia question 10 years from
back in
now. In John Cena's final year, these two wrestlers had 3 matches involving John Cena. Who are these wrestlers? No. But it's Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. Anyways.
No. But I'm saying Dom, they are pushing that guy. That guy is incredible. And we talked about this earlier. I mean, the dude's going to be he's going to be a world champion down the line. I mean, he already is with AAA. But I mean, he's going to be a WWE world champion. Dude, he's young. He's only going to get better. He plays the heel character so great.
He's in the perfect spot right now. Like, it's funny you say that because, like, when I think about him in the world title picture, I don't see him as legitimate, but in the mid-card scene, I see him as legitimate. It's
he will,
really
though.
Weird.
He will down the line.
That's fair.
Down the line, I think. So I don't know. I always say, like, they'll turn Dom face eventually, especially when Rey gets ready to retire or something like that. But man, I don't know when Rey Mysterio is going to retire. So let's just keep Dom. Don't change Dom.
Dude, he found the fountain of youth, dude. That dude's just out there doing
stuff. Rey might wrestle till he's 60. I don't know. If he performs at this level, I say go for it.
Man, he took a good bump too, man. When he shot out, when he slid out of the ring and hopped on the floor, that was a good thud that he took there. Like he just popped.
Oh, he was quick.
Yeah,
I know. We're talking about Reagan. Man, he was just so quick. Granted, he didn't do 15 minutes last night. He was in the ring for a few, but he played the Ricky Morton, face of distress role and got the hot tag. But yeah, Rey. Man, that dude's incredible. But
I know.
Yeah, final segment was all right. It's just, man, this build up to Survivor Series has been underwhelming. The talent's there, but like I said earlier, all the good wrestling in the world won't save bad storytelling.
No,
they got to work on
That's my whole reason I want to shoot the writers in the face right now and get rid of this 3-week cycle. Because it's just came out of Saturday night's main event and we're like, shit, we don't have much time. Let's start building it up. But the problem is we don't get any substance. It's, it's just dudes writing in the back of Popular Mechanics and, it's like Penthouse letters. It's like, Dear Penthouse, I was a wrestler and blah, blah, blah. And before that, they were out there writing, like I said, War and Peace or insert Moby Dick. It doesn't matter. They were writing literature to make the Bloodline story had so many layers and angles and different stuff, and you get none of that right now. And even the stuff that they try to layer and stretch out is just so flat.
I guess Bailey and Lyra Valkyria is the longest thing to kind of stretching out right now.
I mean, technically,
even that's,
but just I don't know. But anyways, Matt, this has been a fun one. I enjoyed it. A little bit different format.
Yeah, it has.
We have some great, like I said, some magic coming up here shortly. Matt, why don't you tell the folks where they can find us? Make sure they know where to find us so they get that special surprise this week.
Yeah, and we'll definitely have to pull something out to put it in a short so people know what's coming up. But again, thank you for those who've been following us on YouTube and on, oh my God, I'm drawing a TikTok. Yeah, so hard to remember TikTok, folks. And then we're on Instagram and Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Not quite ready for network TV yet, but
no,
we're getting there.
Follow, subscribe, all that good jazz. I apologize for twitching and moving. Obviously, I'm in a hotel, and my camera's smart, see, because it follows me. And
so at least you don't have a god-awful, ugly yellow wall tonight.
Yes. And brown.
That last hotel, you had a yellow wall. That was, man.
Bro.
It was urine yellow.
Bro, on top of it, I'm in the world's worst desk chair ever invented because this thing does not sit still and it's killing my back. Old man take. But anyways, folks, thank you for all the engagement out there. Please continue to subscribe, and follow us and share us your ideas and engage with us. We love that stuff. Like I said, special surprise coming up here shortly. But till then, we love y'all. Have a great week. And let's go. War Games coming up.
War Games!
Whew, I need to smoke.